Are you going to help me repot my aloe vera this morning? Huh? Are you going to help me repot my aloe vera this morning? Come on. Come on. We got to go to the other side of the house. Yeah, we got to go to the other side of the house. Now look at that little face and those eyes. How could you help but love a little kitty like that? He's a sweetheart. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Ooh, that wind's blowing out here. Come on. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty, kitty. He's following. Now he's going ahead. First of all, I need to open up the greenhouse so it don't get too hot in there today. Don't want my plants to get too hot today. They're looking good in there. Yep, they're looking good. And all that water, well, not water, compost tea that I put in there yesterday, I'm about ready to have to add more water. Because in this heat, it doesn't take long for this stuff to dry out. Where'd my little buddy go? Kitty, kitty. Where'd he go? Kitty, kitty. I don't know. He disappeared. I guess he got tired of me not paying attention to him. Oh, I need to get that other pot. This is the pot I had my aloe vera sitting in. Look at all that kale. And I did harvest a bunch of that yesterday. Enough to cook for supper last night. And it's standing up pretty this morning. There he is. He's over here waiting on me. There he is. He's there waiting on me. See, I'll have to put this pot over here to keep my newspapers from blowing away. And I did that basically so I wouldn't have the dirt all over my table. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I forgot my gloves. And I got a little pot with some extra dirt in case I need that. Looks like I'm gonna have to put stuff over here to keep my newspapers from blowing away. Yeah, this one couldn't handle the extreme cold when it got down to like 20 and 15 and 10 degrees. Even in the greenhouse it was freezing. Ain't that right, little buddy? Ain't that right, little buddy? He's sitting right there on the step. He's sitting right there on the step. Now we'll watch him a little bit more in a little bit. I gotta go ahead and get this done. Yeah, he's back here with me. Goodness, I don't know how I'm gonna get it out of there. It's in there pretty good. The dirt's wet. So that doesn't help where it rained on it. Good gracious. If it was dry, it wouldn't be that hard to get out of there. Oh. There it comes. But it's got one heck of a root system on it. And all this is going to go in compost. It's got such good roots on it. And I should have left it in a covered area so it would not have gotten I'm gonna need to get a knife. I never have everything with me that I need. I mean, if it was in the ground, you know, people would leave it like that, but since it's in the pot, it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. And I got all these little babies coming out from around it. That has got a root system on it like you wouldn't believe. And it's easier to work with if it's dried versus being wet like this, because you can't get the dirt away from it. You know, this thing has got a massive root system on it. And if it was drier, I'd be able to get most of this dirt away from it. To kind of separate those babies from the mother plant. can't get all that stuff off of them to see if I can separate them. But normally I would have peeled these back right to the stalk. And I need to get a few of those pebbles around here. I'll be right back. See, I put a handful of pebbles down in there just for drainage. It really needs to go in a bigger pot, but I don't have a bigger pot. But I can put a little bit of fresh dirt in it. It has a little bit of nutrients in it for the aloe vera. Because ideally I would have cleaned all this off and planted the very top of it down deeper in the dirt. But it doesn't look like it's going to cooperate that way, so. Just repot it like this. And if I get it in too big a pot, then I can't pick it up. And I wouldn't be able to move it and put it inside somewhere in the wintertime so it doesn't freeze. So I do try to keep it in a smaller pot. Oh, it's heavy. Heavy. Put it right in there. Looks a little better than it did. Now I can take all this and use it as compost. And there was my little duckies I had stuck down in there. Just as an ornament. Yep, that's going to be some good dirt right there to plant something else in back there. Especially when all that aloe vera breaks down. But next time I'll do the way I intend to do it. I'll, let it dry out a little bit. So I can get right down to the roots. But this is going to help it because it's got, it's going to help it quite a bit because it's got new fresh dirt in there. And I can add dirt as I go. All this newspaper is going to go in compost. But that'll give those babies a chance to come up. And I'm going to wash the table off, but I'm not really going to water it because that dirt is wet enough already. We'll wash my pot off a little bit though and get these gloves off. And my little buddy gave up on me again. But normally, you break all that dead part off if I could have gotten to the roots. And I'm just washing the pot off, basically. But that'll give that aloe vera a chance to put new growth on and start really growing this summer. Dirt off of those gloves. Yeah, that's not exactly what I wanted to do with it, but do with it now since because ideally I could have cleaned all these pieces off if I could have got right down to the basic stock at the very bottom, and I would have planted it down this deep, but that's going to have to work like that for right now. So we'll see what happens with it. And I got newspaper ink on the table. I needed a plastic sheet to put on there. But I had some of my neighbors ask me one time, how do I keep my table so white? All-purpose cleaner with bleach. I just spray them. Show you what I'm doing here. I'm just going to spray the parts that had the grease, that ink on it. And ideally you would wear white when you did this. So if you sprayed the bleach out on you, it's not gonna bleach out your clothes. And then just simply spray it off. Now sometimes, like the first of the year, I do take a brush or something and scrub it, just to get some of that yellow off of the top of the table. I've got a little hand scrub brush, and it's not real stiff. It's kind of, I mean, it's a scrub brush, but it's kind of a medium as far as the stiffness of the bristles. And I usually just come out here and scrub it. I spray it down with the bleach spray. Stepped on a part of a spoon and it popped. But yeah, I spray it down like that and take the brush and scrub it a little bit. Like those marks on the leg. I don't know if you can see that. There's a few little scuff marks on the leg. And you can get those off with the scrub brush. And I've got to go around there and clean the other table. I haven't done it yet. But that's on my to-do list, so. In fact, I may go ahead and do that. And get my scrub brush. I'll be right back. First of all, I got to pull the hose out around here. don't know if it would be better to sit that there. See, this is my scrub brush. It's got a little handle. And I basically wet them down first. A little bit more of that garden hose pulled out here. And then I just simply spray over the top with the bleach, the cleaner. And in the ideal world, the wind wouldn't be blowing like this today. And it would basically go where I'm spraying it. You can tell I didn't dress to do this because I didn't put white on. Downwind of that, it'll spray right on. But that's basically how I do it. Then I take the scrub brush and try to scrub it a little bit. And I've got stains on it where people have laid their cigarettes on these tables and all kind of stuff, and all of that won't come up. But at least it cleans it. A little bit of a burnt stain will be there, but I usually do this every spring, or when it gets close to springtime is when I do it. And you can't get every little piece off because some of this is paint that's gotten splattered on here or something else over the years. And people have asked me, why don't you paint them? And I said, well, I don't want to paint them. There's no need to paint them. I just clean them. I just try to clean them. My chairs have been thrown around in the dirt so much by the wind. Well, there's dirt on the legs and everything. But you can't keep every little bit of it off. But I can keep it cleaner than what they were. simply lean them up like that and let them drain off to dry so that I don't have a puddle of water in the seat. I said when they get bad enough that I have to paint them, they'll probably be so dry rotted from the sun I need to replace them anyway. Get this one out of here. All these leaves to get off of here where the wind blew them. Can't tell if I'm in the camera view or not. Yeah, I am. Just gonna wet that down a little bit before I scrub it. Already got that bleach on there. But that's basically how I do some of my spring cleaning. I start with the outside of the house. Inside of my house, since I have a back and neck injury, I do a little bit at a time. I don't clean everything all at one time or in one week. I take a little bit of it at a time until I get from one end of the house to the other. And that's why I don't video that. Look at there, my rose bushes are looking good. The yellow rose, the other pink rose right there. They're little, but they're going to do some growing. And I didn't really want to get that one that far back. I wanted it toward the middle, but I didn't want to dig up that other plant that's in front of it. So they'll grow together. So and I'll come back here later when this dries off, and I'll sweep all those leaves off of the walk. There's too many of them to try to hose off, and we're really not supposed to hose off stuff right now anyway, because we still have a water rationing, believe it or not. I guess the water company never got the parts they needed to put in the water system. Now these are wildflowers, but I don't like them. They don't really have anything on them that looks pretty. Look at there, that mint's looking real good. And that pot of mint too, because it gets mid-afternoon sun. Those other ones in the backyard will look that good too. And there goes my celery. It still looks good. It looks happy there. I hope it will grow and produce me some more celery. Because if it does, I'll keep right on growing it. Every time I get a celery stalk, I will cut the bottom and plant it. Or root it and then plant it. And this is what I like about this. I can just twist that hose right up on it. For the life of me, I can't figure out why they put this on here. Because it just gets in the way. And it doesn't stay in the spot it's supposed to be in. Because I know it's supposed to be there for your hand to hold on to. But it doesn't stay there. So there's that. That's tired. Yeah, so hopefully my little aloe vera will have a new lease on life. It'll be able to grow now. Right there. Let's go out here and check on my marigolds that I planted. But see all those little purple flowers? That's all wildflowers. It's pretty until it gets so hot it burns everything up. But instead of planting grass, I planted wildflowers. Because at least they're pretty while they're growing. And I don't have to water them. And I have a lot more. They're not up yet. Yeah, look at there. Marigolds are coming up. And I got a few coming up right over there. I got a ton of them right in here. And a moonflower. So they're going to grow right along with the moonflowers. There's a moonflower right there. Don't see any in these pots. Or this one. But there's some in that one. And there's one in that one come up. And one in that one that just come up. So, well, two. Because there's a little bitty one right there. So they'll grow right there. Right there. And you know, we replanted, I think I put zinnias, marigolds, that white carpet flower thing that I planted in or put seeds in there for, and then the red poppy. So if all of those come up and survive, it's going to look good. And I'll be able to pull some out of it because they'll come up thick. I'll be able to pull some of the small plants out of there and plant them other places in the yard. And like I said, I got to get me some more concrete and finish my platform. But at least my platform is relatively flat. I mean, you can see the water level all the way around. And it looks pretty even all the way around, so I'm happy with that. And see? I mean, it may be 1/16 of an inch off, but that's not going to hurt anything. Yeah, that looks dead, and I almost thought it was dead one year, but then all of a sudden it started sprouting out new leaves. So it wasn't dead after all. And there's my butterfly. It's a night light basically because I put one of those solar lights in it. The wind whips it around though, and I can't keep it straight. Probably need to put it in the yard, not in the pot. Yeah, but those are loving it. Yeah, I'm hoping. I just got my fingers crossed that yellow rose right there is going to do real good there this year. Because I'll be able to keep water to it pretty good. It's got a lot of good dirt down beneath it to grow. So we'll see whether this side does better or the other side, or maybe they'll do equal as long as I keep water to them. You see, I got a lot of these wildflowers. See the purple? And they are pretty. But they'll throw seeds everywhere all over the yard. Which that's okay too, but I don't want them in my flower boxes. Or my pots. And I got to pretty soon do something with these. I need to put more dirt in them. Just a little bit more dirt. And I got something growing in this one. I don't know what yet. I may end up pulling it out, but I'm going to leave it there for a little while and see what it is. Because you never know what kind of stray seeds in there. Well, I've done all I'm going to do this morning. I need to get in the house and do some stuff in there. And I need to come out here and weed some. Look at all the... And those are basically wildflowers coming up in there. But if you don't keep them pulled out, they'll take over just like the grass. And I'd rather have the wildflowers in there than the grass, but... And look at there, I got a shoot of the rose bush coming up there, so it's putting out new growth from the roots down there. So... It's going to thicken up on its own, I guess. And I guess I could have put this back on the table and put my aloe vera on the ground, but oh well, I'll find another spot for it. In fact, I just may take it around there and put it on the other table that I just cleaned off. Put it up there for right now. There we go. That looks pretty good right there. Got a decent pot sitting there now. Yeah, but I got to get out here later and clean off this whole walk. But I'm going to wait till that water dries. Because it's easier to either blow the leaves off or sweep them off if it's dry, not wet. Because they stick when they're wet. And my poor car, since it's rained, look at the dust. That little bit of moisture gets on the car and then the wind blows and it blows all that dust all over the car. So that needs to be washed too. But it's going to wait. I'm not doing it right now. But see here? Look at all these little wildflowers. See, I got tons of little wildflowers growing in my yard. That's one reason I don't want to come out here and mow. They look like dwarf daffodils, but they're white, almost. But I got those all over the yard. See how pretty? I didn't plant grass, so. And there's a bird at the bird feeder. And I think the birds actually get seeds from these little wildflowers too. He looks like he's just sitting there perched there sleeping, not moving a whole lot. It's like he's just hanging out. Yeah, those wildflowers are just coming up everywhere. And see, that's what's growing all along the border here. That's one reason I don't really care if I mow it, because it's all the little wildflowers that are come up all along the border. And it does look good when I mow it because it looks so clean around the rocks. But like I said, I hate to mow and cut all those flowers down. At least let them bloom and seed out, I guess, and then I'll cut it. Because the rest of the yard don't need mowing. I mean, there's nothing out there that needs mowing. Not really. Look at that little bird. He's just staying right there. He looks like he could be a stuffed bird that I just put on the perch to make it look like a bird sitting there, but that's a real one. It's a real bird. Looks like he's sleeping in the sun. He says that sunshine feels good. Well, let's go out here and see. He's not even moving since I'm walking around. I guess he's used to me. He's used to me. Well, he flew off that time. I guess they're so used to me being in the yard, and they know I feed them. Yeah, that looks like a zinnia right there that came up. I don't see any of the other seeds that have come up though yet. But that is a zinnia, if I'm not badly fooled. It's either a zinnia or a moonflower. I guess we'll see when it gets bigger. Roses look like they're growing a little bit. And we're supposed to get more rain in a few days, so that's going to help the growth of these moonflowers. See how well they're doing out here in the sun? They got a little bit of rain, and then the sun shines on them. That helps them grow. Just like those mums in that pot. Yeah, the moonflowers are coming up and they're starting to look good. Look at that. A lot bigger than they were a day or so ago. And I got a zinnia coming up right there. I know that in that pot's a zinnia because there's one right there. They'll come up right along with the moonflowers. There's a moonflower. Moonflower back there. I'm not sure if I'm going to put okra in this pot this year or not. I don't know what I want to put in there. We'll see whenever I get all my plants out of the greenhouse to replant them. When they get big enough. We still got a week or two before all the danger of the frost and freezing is over. But those are looking good. That's my broccoli. And I've been turning them because they start growing toward the sun. I mean, the sun's right there, but... And I should have moonflowers coming up in this pot because there was a ton of them in there last year. They just haven't come up yet. And in this one too, I mean, it's full of peppermint, and if the peppermint don't choke the moonflowers out, I should have a ton of moonflowers coming up in here. But look at that peppermint. It looks so good, and it smells so good. And there's those greens that survived the freeze, because I never covered this pot up. I need to put wood chips in there, though, because they're all dirty from the splash over when it rains. Because if I put wood chips around there, then the dirt don't splash on your greens and they stay clean. So I need to do that with that pot. I don't know, I might plant another tomato, like a grape tomato, or one of my tomato plants in there, because it seems like the hummingbirds love it when they've got something green growing there. Because they come and they perch on this wire here at the hummingbird feeders. They like it there. Well, I gotta wash my feet off because my feet are dirty. Feet have the spray off from the... Now they're wet, but at least I got all that stuff off of them that was sprayed on there. Ooh, I'm gonna sit down here a minute. Yeah, that should give that aloe vera chance to put out more stuff. I just wish I could have got it down to the root to where I could have broke all that stuff off of it. Because all of these dead leaf parts should have been peeled off. And they'll probably eventually rot off anyway, I don't know. But it would have helped it a lot to get that pulled off. And I still may do it before it's over with. But that's the mother plant, and it's been putting out tons of baby aloe vera plants. And it's still got 4 or 5 nodes under the dirt of the baby plants trying to come up where they got frozen last year over the winter. But for the most part, the nodes coming off of the main shoot are still alive. So it should put out new aloe vera plants all the way around it this summer by cleaning it up like that. It'll give them a chance anyway. And if it don't, then I'll do like I said. I'll take it out of the pot again. I'll clean all of that off of the stalk, plant it down deeper, and let it start growing again. And I think that's all I've got for today. So, I think I'm going to bid you a good day. Please like and share and subscribe to my videos. Subscriptions are free, I promise. You'll never be charged for subscribing to my channel. I need lots more subscribers. I've got to get to 1,000 to be able to get monetized. So any of you out there watching, please subscribe to my videos. Share my videos so your friends will see them and maybe they'll subscribe. And y'all have a blessed day. And I will see you on my next video. And thanks for hanging out with me today. Have a blessed day.